If you've been told you have glaucoma or that your eye pressure is slightly elevated, it's natural for a quiet concern to settle in, especially when the possibility of losing vision feels distant yet unsettling, because glaucoma rarely causes pain or obvious warning signs and often progresses silently while putting your optic nerve health at risk. What many people don't realize is that glaucoma is not a condition where nothing can be done beyond using eye drops and waiting. Scientific evidence shows that small and consistent actions, when repeated over time, can help control intraocular pressure, slow progression, and improve long-term outcomes, particularly when the focus is on eye health over 60. In this video, you'll learn 7 simple and practical ways to support glaucoma management in everyday life, including habits that may quietly raise eye pressure, lifestyle adjustments that help reduce eye pressure naturally, and strategies that work alongside your current glaucoma treatment rather than interfering with it. As you watch, it's worth reflecting on whether daily routines are truly supporting your vision or unintentionally working against it, because even subtle changes, applied consistently, can influence how your eyes function 5 or 10 years from now. What follows isn't complicated, but it is meaningful, and understanding it fully sets the foundation for protecting your vision long-term. What is eye pressure and why it matters? Eye pressure can sound like a technical term, but in simple terms, intraocular pressure is the force created by fluid circulating inside the eye. This fluid, known as aqueous humor, is constantly produced to nourish internal eye structures and is meant to drain through tiny channels. When that drainage becomes less efficient, pressure begins to build, which is often how glaucoma develops. One of the reasons glaucoma is so dangerous is that elevated eye pressure usually causes no pain or noticeable symptoms. Vision may seem perfectly normal while excess pressure slowly compresses the optic nerve, the structure responsible for transmitting visual information to the brain. When nerve fibers are damaged, vision loss can occur, and once that loss happens, it cannot be reversed, which is why protecting optic nerve health is central to glaucoma management. Normal intraocular pressure generally falls between about 10 and 21 millimeters of mercury, but those numbers alone do not tell the full story. Some individuals experience optic nerve damage even within this range, while others tolerate slightly higher levels without immediate harm. What research consistently demonstrates is that even modest reductions in eye pressure can significantly slow glaucoma progression, meaning that lowering pressure even slightly can make a real difference over time. This becomes increasingly important with eye health over 60, as aging can affect drainage pathways, circulation, and nerve resilience. For this reason, modern glaucoma treatment emphasizes pressure control, and glaucoma prevention is best understood not as a single solution, but as a collection of steady supportive choices that protect vision over the long term. Once this connection is clear, it naturally leads to a practical question that matters every day, which is how consistent treatment habits influence eye pressure and long-term outcomes. Tip number 1. Follow prescribed treatment consistently. When it comes to glaucoma management, nothing replaces following prescribed treatment exactly as directed. Eye drops, laser procedures, or other medical interventions are not optional suggestions but carefully selected tools designed to lower intraocular pressure or improve fluid drainage inside the eye. Skipping doses, delaying use, or relying on symptoms to decide when treatment is needed allows eye pressure to rise quietly again. Research published in the Journal of Glaucoma shows that people who use their prescribed drops consistently have a much lower risk of disease progression than those who use them irregularly. In practical terms, this means that consistent glaucoma treatment protects optic nerve health even when vision still appears stable, because glaucoma responds to routine rather than guesswork. Timing also plays an important role. Some medications are more effective when used in the morning, others at night, and using them at the wrong time can reduce their benefit. A helpful way to think about this is like watering a plant, where the right amount at the right time supports healthy roots. Eye drops work the same way, forming the foundation of long-term glaucoma prevention, particularly for those prioritizing eye health over 60. Since forgetfulness is part of everyday life, simple systems make a big difference. Placing eye drops next to a toothbrush and using them immediately after brushing, setting a daily phone reminder, or keeping a small checklist in a visible place can turn treatment into an automatic habit rather than a daily decision. These small adjustments reduce missed doses and support stable intraocular pressure over time. Consistent treatment isn't about fear, but about maintaining control and creating room for other supportive strategies to work effectively. Once treatment becomes routine, attention naturally shifts to another important factor that influences eye pressure, which is how everyday food choices affect glaucoma outcomes. Tip number 2. Optimize your diet for eye health. Once treatment becomes consistent, attention naturally turns to something encountered every single day, which is food. While no diet can replace proper glaucoma treatment, nutrition plays a quiet but meaningful role in glaucoma management, particularly when the goal is protecting optic nerve health over the long term. What goes on the plate doesn't cure glaucoma, but it can influence circulation, inflammation, and overall eye resilience, all of which affect eye pressure. Research has consistently highlighted the benefits of leafy green vegetables such as kale, spinach, arugula, and collard greens. These foods are rich in natural nitrates that support healthy blood flow, and studies suggest that higher intake is associated with a lower risk of glaucoma progression. Better circulation means the optic nerve receives more reliable oxygen and nutrients, which becomes increasingly important for eye health over 60 as natural blood flow efficiency declines. Omega-3 fatty acids also deserve attention. Found in foods like salmon, sardines, and mackerel, omega-3s support vascular health and help reduce inflammation. In practical terms, this creates a more favorable environment for fluid movement inside the eye, indirectly supporting balanced intraocular pressure. Adding fish to meals 2 or 3 times per week is often enough, and when that isn't realistic, discussing supplementation with a doctor is a sensible alternative. Antioxidant-rich fruits like blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, and citrus fruits help protect eye cells from oxidative stress. Simple habits such as adding berries to breakfast or choosing fruit instead of processed desserts support glaucoma lifestyle tips and help reduce eye pressure naturally as part of a broader strategy. Consistency matters far more than perfection, and as nutrition becomes routine, another powerful influence on intraocular pressure comes into focus, which is how the body responds to movement. Tip number 3. Exercise safely to lower eye pressure. Physical activity may seem simple, but its impact on glaucoma management is significant. Research shows that moderate aerobic exercise can lower intraocular pressure, sometimes more quickly than expected. In clinical studies, adults who walked briskly for just 30 minutes experienced measurable reductions in eye pressure, a clear example of how physiology can work in your favor. Exercise improves circulation throughout the body, including the small blood vessels that nourish the eyes and optic nerve. This improved blood flow supports more efficient drainage of fluid inside the eye, helping stabilize eye pressure over time. For those focused on eye health over 60, this combination of circulation support and pressure regulation is especially valuable. The key is choosing the right type of movement. Low to moderate activities such as brisk walking, stationary cycling, swimming, or light elliptical training are generally safe and effective. A practical goal is a 30-minute walk 5 days per week, whether that happens outdoors, in a park, or even indoors at a shopping mall. The environment matters far less than consistency. Certain movements do require caution. Exercises involving prolonged head-down positions or heavy straining, such as some yoga inversions or intense weightlifting, can temporarily increase intraocular pressure. This doesn't mean exercise should be avoided, only selected thoughtfully. Checking with a doctor before starting a new routine is wise, especially when joint, heart, or balance concerns are present. And because exercise also influences stress levels, it naturally leads to the next important factor affecting eye pressure. Tip number 4. Manage stress and blood pressure. Stress doesn't just affect mood or sleep, it can also influence eye pressure in subtle but meaningful ways. Research shows that fluctuations in systemic blood pressure often coincide with changes in intraocular pressure, which makes stress management an important part of glaucoma prevention and long-term glaucoma management. When stress remains elevated, the body releases hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline. These chemicals alter blood flow and fluid regulation throughout the body, including inside the eye, and over time they may interfere with normal drainage while placing added strain on optic nerve health. This connection becomes more pronounced with age, making stress control especially relevant for eye health over 60. One of the simplest tools is controlled breathing. Slowly inhaling through the nose for 4 seconds and exhaling through the mouth for 6 seconds helps calm the nervous system and reduce stress responses. Practicing this for just 5 minutes a day, whether before sleep or while seated comfortably, can support healthier pressure regulation without requiring special equipment or training. Meditation and guided relaxation offer similar benefits. Studies show that even short sessions can lower stress hormones and improve circulation. Listening to a brief guided audio after lunch or before bedtime is often enough to see benefits, especially when paired with calming music or nature sounds. As stress levels come under control, blood pressure often follows, and managing blood pressure through medication, diet, movement, and relaxation strengthens overall glaucoma management. That naturally brings attention to another overlooked factor, which is how everyday habits may quietly raise eye pressure. Tip number 5. Avoid habits that raise eye pressure. Protecting optic nerve health isn't always about adding new behaviors. Sometimes it's about removing habits that work against you. Certain everyday actions can cause short-term spikes in intraocular pressure, and while each spike may seem minor, repeated exposure matters for anyone managing glaucoma. One common habit is holding the breath during physical strain. This often happens while lifting heavy objects, moving furniture, or straining during bowel movements. Holding the breath increases pressure inside the chest, which can briefly raise eye pressure. Exhaling during effort is a simple adjustment that reduces this effect and supports healthier pressure control. Caffeine intake is another factor worth moderating. While 1 cup of coffee is rarely an issue, consuming large amounts in a short period has been shown to raise intraocular pressure in some individuals. Reducing intake gradually, switching later cups to decaf or herbal tea, or alternating with water can help maintain balance without feeling restrictive. Body position also plays a role. Spending long periods bent over while gardening, cleaning, or working close to the ground can temporarily increase eye pressure. Kneeling instead of bending, using raised work surfaces, or sitting while performing low tasks helps minimize these pressure changes. These adjustments are particularly beneficial for eye health over 60, when joints and circulation already benefit from gentler movement. Awareness of these habits creates confidence and control, making it easier to build a lifestyle that supports glaucoma treatment rather than competing with it. Once these factors are addressed, many naturally begin to wonder whether supplements can provide additional support without interfering with medical care. Tip number 6. Take smart supplements. Supplements often create divided opinions, but a balanced approach tends to be the most effective. Supplements are never a replacement for glaucoma treatment, yet when selected carefully and used responsibly, some can provide supportive benefits within a broader glaucoma management strategy, particularly when the focus is protecting optic nerve health over time. One supplement frequently discussed in glaucoma research is ginkgo biloba. Some studies suggest it may support blood flow to the optic nerve, which is especially relevant in cases where circulation affects glaucoma progression. While improved circulation does not directly lower intraocular pressure, it may help nourish vulnerable nerve fibers. In practical terms, this means that if medical treatment is already being followed consistently, discussing a standardized ginkgo extract with a doctor may be appropriate for certain individuals. Vitamin C also plays a supportive role. Beyond its immune benefits, vitamin C functions as an antioxidant, helping protect eye tissues from oxidative stress. Some evidence suggests it may contribute to healthier fluid balance inside the eye, indirectly supporting eye pressure regulation. Citrus fruits, bell peppers, and broccoli are excellent dietary sources, and supplementation may be considered if intake is insufficient, always under medical supervision. What matters most is caution. Many adults over 60 take medications for blood pressure, heart health, or circulation, and certain supplements can interact with these treatments. Ginkgo, for example, may affect blood thinning or blood pressure. For that reason, supplement decisions belong in a medical conversation, not a store aisle. When used thoughtfully, supplements can support eye health over 60 without disrupting care, and once internal support is addressed, attention naturally turns to how daily environments affect the eyes. Tip number 7. Protect your eyes in everyday life. Glaucoma management often brings medications and appointments to mind, but everyday protection plays an equally important role. The eyes are sensitive, and repeated small stresses can accumulate over time, especially later in life. Reducing unnecessary strain helps preserve optic nerve health and support stable eye pressure. Sun exposure is a simple but important place to start. Ultraviolet light contributes to ocular stress, so wearing sunglasses that block 100% of UVA and UVB rays helps protect the eyes during daily activities. This does not require expensive eyewear, only proper UV protection. In many ways, sunglasses function like sunscreen for the eyes and fit naturally into glaucoma prevention. Eye safety during routine tasks is another overlooked factor. Yard work, household cleaning, or small repair projects can expose the eyes to dust, debris, or chemical splashes. Protective eyewear is useful not only for heavy work but also for trimming plants, using tools, or handling strong cleaning products. Preventing irritation or injury helps avoid inflammation that could complicate glaucoma treatment. Lighting also deserves attention. Dim or uneven lighting forces the eyes to work harder, increasing fatigue and discomfort. While this does not cause glaucoma, reducing visual strain improves comfort and focus. Bright, evenly distributed lighting near reading areas, kitchens, and workspaces supports everyday eye comfort and fits well into practical glaucoma lifestyle tips. These protective habits may feel subtle, but they reduce ongoing stress on the eyes. When the environment supports vision rather than challenging it, the focus naturally shifts to making these strategies consistent over time. How to turn these tips into habits. Understanding what supports glaucoma is only the first step. Real progress happens when those actions become routine. Glaucoma management is not built on dramatic changes, but on quiet systems that operate almost automatically, which is encouraging because habits depend more on structure than motivation. One effective approach is linking new behaviors to habits that already exist. Eye drops are easier to remember when used immediately after brushing teeth, and daily walks fit more naturally when scheduled after breakfast or before a favorite evening program. This kind of habit pairing reduces mental effort and supports consistent control of intraocular pressure. Tracking progress also strengthens commitment. A simple notebook, calendar, or habit tracking app can be used to mark daily actions such as treatment adherence, movement, or relaxation practices. Seeing consistency build over time reinforces glaucoma lifestyle tips in a way that motivation alone rarely achieves. Support from others adds another layer of stability. Sharing goals with a spouse, family member, or friend creates gentle accountability and encouragement. Even a simple reminder from someone close can support eye health over 60 in a meaningful way. Small wins matter. Each healthy meal, each protected eye, and each day of stable eye pressure compounds over time. Together, these actions form a lifestyle that supports optic nerve health and long-term glaucoma prevention. Once routines are in place, the next logical step is ensuring they align fully with professional medical guidance. What to discuss with your doctor. Even with strong habits in place, glaucoma management works best as a partnership with a trusted eye doctor. Productive appointments happen when questions are clear and focused on long-term eye pressure control and optic nerve health. One important topic is whether current glaucoma treatment remains optimal. As the body changes with age, medications that worked well in the past may need adjustment. Asking whether pressure targets are being met or if newer options exist helps guide effective care, especially for eye health over 60. Exercise habits also deserve discussion. Since movement can help reduce eye pressure naturally, clarifying which activities are safest ensures lifestyle choices support glaucoma prevention rather than working against it. Simple questions about walking routines or movements to avoid can provide clarity and confidence. Diet and supplements should also be reviewed openly. Mentioning increased intake of leafy greens, omega-3s, or interest in vitamin C or ginkgo biloba allows the doctor to assess potential interactions. Transparency strengthens trust and ensures glaucoma lifestyle tips fit the overall care plan. Monitoring tools complete the picture. Imaging tests, visual field exams, and optic nerve scans track subtle changes over time, often before symptoms appear. Understanding how often these tests are needed helps maintain confidence and alignment between daily habits and medical care, preparing the ground for long-term success. Everything covered here is practical and meant to be applied. Glaucoma does not take vision overnight, but it responds consistently to daily choices. Managing eye pressure is less about perfection and more about awareness, routine, and steady action repeated over time. It helps to reflect on which habit can begin today, whether that means greater consistency with glaucoma treatment, adding regular movement, managing stress more intentionally, or making a small dietary adjustment that supports intraocular pressure. Long-term outcomes improve not through knowledge alone, but through application. With these strategies, glaucoma prevention becomes part of everyday life, eye health over 60 becomes more manageable, and efforts to reduce eye pressure naturally work alongside medical care rather than competing with it. If this video helped clarify glaucoma in a useful way, liking it helps others find the same information. Sharing it may support someone quietly concerned about their vision, and subscribing with notifications ensures continued access to clear, practical health guidance. Another video is available on screen that builds on these ideas and explores additional ways to protect health and independence over time. Continuing to learn and apply small changes keeps vision and quality of life moving in the right direction.